Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our Core Keeper Let's Play. If you're new here, welcome, and otherwise, let's get started. We'll name our world Inorax Castle, and we'll go with a diamond as our save slot icon. Core Keeper is a new discovery adventure type game in the same vein as Terraria or Minecraft to a certain degree. I haven't played it yet, but it's supposed to be very good, so we'll see how it plays. Alright, so that looks good. Go with Anorak. And for our background, I typically like to play these games by just spending most of my time exploring or mining, especially in past games that I've played like this, so we'll go with miner. Alright, let's see. In a place far away from anywhere else. You're part of a group of explorers making your way through the forest. Feeling a strange presence, you notice something between the trees. Drawn to it, you approach this strange relic and raise a hand towards it. This feels like it's going to end so badly. Upon touching its surface, a blinding light engulfs you. Well, not as bad as you'd think, I guess. Okay, so the interface looks a lot like Stardew Valley. It looks like we have health and food, a pickaxe, and food rations. Okay. Alright, so this is wood. It does have a really satisfying way of interacting with the environment, which is really important when the primary purposes of your games is exploration. Let's see if we can't figure out how to. Okay, so we have some torches. Looks like all we need is wood for those, so we'll make some torches. And a basic workbench. Okay. So we'll place our workbench. Alright, so right mouse click is place. And okay, so the torches function similar to how Terraria torches function. Essentially, you make them out of wood, and they allow you to illuminate the area where you're working. So let's clear this area. This will be home base for now. Root seed. Got some mushrooms. And it looks like we explore by breaking down the walls. Okay. Alright, let's go see what we can make at the workbench. If we can figure out how to interact with it. Okay, so E is interact. So we'll make a chest, keep all of our stuff in. Wood walls. And we'll make some bridges. Because I imagine we're going to need those to cross over some of the water. It looks like that's about all we can do right now. So, put down our chest and go back to collecting some materials. The pixel art graphics are really nice. They remind me a lot of many of those Stardew Valley games that have come out. It seems to be really common among indie developers, which is good. I think it reduces their development time and also kind of gives you that nostalgic retro feel that a lot of people really love. Let's go figure out what those firefly looking things are. I don't know. Alright. We're just gonna clear out this area, kind of give us a better base to work from. And see if we can interact with this. Okay, so this looks like it's some sort of ongoing quest, I would imagine. And the core looks like it needs something. The way this is set up makes me think that we have to complete all 3 of these in order to activate the core, maybe? So, I don't imagine we can do much of that right now. It also looks like our pickaxe is slowly being used up, so I imagine we need to find some materials to make a new one. Okay, new talent point available. Okay, so there's our map. Let's see how we put our talent points. Okay, so it looks like the talent points are automatic. Very similar to how Stardew Valley functioned. It looks like the more you do something, the higher your talent goes, which is great. It's a really intuitive system for people who play games like this consistently or people new to the genre. I'm not sure, but if it functions the same way as Stardew Valley system, over time it'll also give us access to some new items or skills potentially. So it looks like there's a sparkle in the wall. I'm gonna guess that's some sort of ore. So we'll go see. Alright, so copper ore, that's good. Kind of try to keep our bases clean as possible. Make sure we don't have to backtrack too much to get back to where we need to go. Go see if we can make another pickaxe with that ore. So it looks like we need a copper bar, which I'm assuming means we need a furnace. So let's make that. Right? And that ain't it, so put the furnace down. Alright. Okay, so it has a forager style of resource management. It looks like we can probably load it up and then come back to get the finished ore later. Really similar to how Forager built their system. If you haven't played Forager, I definitely recommend it. It was from a solo developer and got picked up by Humble Bundle, I think. It's really good. And I think it's available on Xbox Game Pass if you happen to have that. So, if you have it, it's free and definitely worth checking out. Alright, so since we need 2 bars, we'll try to find some more copper quick. There we go. No sense in backtracking yet, so put a torch down and then we'll keep going until this pickaxe gonna give out on us. Alright. I'm not really sure what the basis for this game is, so we'll figure it out together. Okay, looks like we managed to find a new open area, so we'll see what's here. And we're gonna have to go back, make ourselves a new pickaxe here, I believe. Has really good music, which is awesome. I feel like music is a really underappreciated part of a lot of indie games. A great example of one with phenomenal music is Stardew Valley. Probably the best part of the game, even outside of the really good game mechanics. So we'll just have to wait for the copper bars. Okay, so it is very similar to Forager, where it looks like it'll build up, and you can come back and collect those later. So we'll make ourselves a pickaxe. What else is there? Shovel. Sword. And a hoe. So judging by the fact that our food is going down, I'm assuming that's an energy that we have to restore. It looks like the game starts you with some food rations, but we'll have to find some sooner rather than later. Looks like mushrooms function as food. Alright, so I think we need a watering can and a hoe so we can plant the root seeds that we have. So we'll start working towards that. So we need to find a bunch more copper. I can see some here. Got really dark. Oh. Is there a monster nearby? Okay, so it didn't degrade the pick and remove it from our inventory, so we may be able to repair items like that, in which case it may have been redundant to have made a second pick, but we'll see. We'll figure it out together. So bomb pepper seed, okay. Seems like we really need to get a farm going as soon as possible. And that's the first monsters, okay. The combat system feels good. Feels pretty clean. You're able to use non-combat weapons similar to Stardew Valley, which is nice because not everyone would have already found everything to build the sword that they would need otherwise, so. Okay, so you cannot plant, it seems, without having used the hoe on the ground, which kind of makes sense, so. Let's go back and do that. We'll trash that for now. And we will make some more copper bars. And since our health and energy is pretty low, we'll figure out how to eat this. Alright, so it's really easy. It's just right click. It looks like energy is instantaneous and health kind of is restoration over time. Probably so it makes combat a little more rewarding. Instant restore health sounds good, but from a design perspective, kind of takes away from the essence of needing to play it safe in certain parts of the game. Okay, so now we will need to make some torches quick. It's really nice that they made torches a single resource item. I know in Terraria one of the issues some people have is that you need slime and wood, which is fine as long as you made a trip to somewhere up on the surface, but sometimes when you're down mining for extended periods of time, you end up without enough wood to do it, and you have to kind of backtrack. It's just not a great design system, in my opinion. The way everything's shaking makes me think that there's probably a larger monster around, so before we go further, we're gonna stay in this area, find some copper, get our sword, get our watering can, get our farm going. Move this over here just to make things easier, consistent. Keep clicking on the wrong thing, looking for the torches. Alright, so there are a whole bunch of slimes there, so we don't want to open that up if we can avoid it. But I think we still need a couple copper bars. New talent available. See what that means. Take a look at the map, see what we have. Okay, so it looks like there's a skill tree as well, built in, which is kind of nice. A little bit different than the Stardew Valley system. Let's up our mining damage. What else do we have? Okay, so that would be really useful, I would think. Take it or leave it. Not sure how explosives will work in this, but if they're really good at clearing large swaths of map, this might be worth it. Mining speed is probably always worth it. I feel like it depends on if you want to switch consistently between your weapon and your pickaxe. I'll probably not go for this if I can avoid it. And I'll probably go for the chance to drop valuable items. I don't really see the speed boost from mining being really worthwhile. Alright. Let's get back to it. So at some point we may want to kind of build another base. Kind of keep ourselves from having to backtrack all the time. Right now we won't, just because we're still kind of in the beginning, so everything's relatively close, but over time I think we're going to end up wanting to do that. Okay, so make this, and then we will need 2 more copper bars, which we should have from the furnace. Alright, and now we can get ourselves a hoe as well. Alright, so now that we have that, let's see what we can do. Okay, so really similar to Stardew Valley, which is nice. It's really intuitive. And I'm assuming we just need to water those with the watering can, which is empty, so we'll have to find some water quick. But before we do that, let's plant everything that we have. Okay. Alright. Then we'll dig out 4 more. Oh. There we go. And we can plant these as well. We'll get rid of this, just because it's in the way, and then we'll move it up a little bit. And then we can go look for some water. Okay, so it looks like there's easy access here, which is great. I'm assuming, yep, so you fill it just like Stardew Valley, you just use the watering can on the water itself, and then we just water. So I'm not sure what the frequency is that we'll have to water these, but we'll just come back and see how they look in a little bit. There's the slimes, we're gonna avoid them for now. A running talent available, so we'll see what we can do to make ourselves a little bit faster. Less food drained when running. Okay, so there's kind of like a base cost just to moving around. It seems really low just based on how much the food has been going down, but good to know that you kind of have to be relatively deliberate with your motion in the game. So, make our way towards these flowers. Not sure what they are, but it seems like something we want to find out. Glow tulip. Okay, so they come with seeds too. Kind of seems like anytime you pick up a food item, you also get a seed. Not every time, but good to know that it's one way of acquiring extra seeds to put in the farm. I imagine growing the farm kind of gives you a base of operations and also make sure that you always have enough energy to do what you want to do. So we'll keep trying to find the stuff to build that out. And then we'll try the bridge. So, okay, so just build a bridge. Easy enough. And we'll try to avoid getting into any substantial combat for the time being, but we'll clear these away for now. And I think the next thing we should do is probably look for some extra copper in order to make ourselves an actual weapon. So we'll make ourselves a sword, and then maybe we'll try to clear a little bit further and figure out what's making that noise. Okay, so that wasn't so good. Eat a couple mushrooms quick, and to give our health a chance to regen. So the slime is a movement issue, so I'll make sure we stay away from that when we can. Combat feels really good. It's fluid, and it feels like you are able to kind of dodge. I'm sure it'll get harder as monsters get more difficult, but for now, you don't really need the sword, from what I can tell. More a nice to have than a need to have. Still haven't quite figured out how the durability system works yet. I'm assuming we can repair items, just not sure how. And I do really like the number of slots they give you right off the bat. So much nicer than Stardew Valley, where you're dealing with, I think, 8 slots for a little while until you're able to purchase from Pierre's store. So definitely nicer to have a couple extra slots when you're just getting started. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so the way this grows, it looks like it's still watered. Maybe you only have to water them once in this, which would be kind of cool. Much less backtracking, which would be ideal, especially as we start to move deeper and deeper down into the mine. Really bad torch placement. I'll make sure to put it somewhere a little bit further away this time. Water these. Yeah, you can't even water, so kind of lets you know when you need to, just with the red or blue cursor, which is nice. And we will check out our map quick. Alright, we'll start making our way north and see what's up in this area next. Item, turf wall. Okay. So a soft mossy wall. Interesting. Keep moving things in ways that I would rather not. I'll try to keep torches on 4 just to make it a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I had this issue with Terraria a lot as well, where I tell myself I was going to go in one direction, and then find myself kind of going all over the place. One of the greatest things about these games is that you kind of get to freeform your own experience. But for someone with a short attention span like me, spend a lot of time kind of not being the most efficient, which is okay, but not when you're just getting started. You're better off to try to figure out what's happening, usually. Okay, so a mechanical part. It's ancient machinery. Okay. Not sure what that does, but I'm sure it does something, so we'll find out. For anyone who's been playing Elden Ring recently, this is a very nice change of pace. In terms of difficulty level, I would say that, judging by the experience I've had thus far, it's a relatively approachable game for most players. It doesn't seem to be super demanding, which is great, especially if you're just kind of looking to relax and find something to do for a little bit at the end of your day. And we just broke our pickaxe, so we'll try to figure out how the durability system works. Doesn't look like you can add them together in any way, so looks like we're gonna have to head back to our workbench. Okay, those seem to be growing just fine, which is good. Alright, so tin workbench. We need some tin bars, copper anvil. Okay, so I think we'll want to make an anvil next, probably. Okay, and a salvage and repair station. So we definitely want to make this. My guess is that's how we access not having to remake our pickaxe. So that would be way better. So we'll just make some copper bars quick. And we'll go plant the bomb pepper seed that we have, just because kind of just waiting. Don't have anything we have to do for a minute, so put this here and water it quick. Not sure how to tell when these are ready to be picked. That one was not. So at least it gives you back the seed, which is kind of nice. I guess I'll just wait. I'm assuming those are not ready yet, but okay, so we'll make our salvage and repair station, put that right here, and then see what we can do. Missing scrap parts. Okay. Okay, so you salvage something, you get scrap parts, and then you can use that to repair something else. So, kind of put myself in a rough position here, because I just used all my copper to make that, which now leaves me without any copper. So, we're going to have to go find some and punch the wall until we get it, I guess. Way slower, but at least it works. Could be far more punishing if they hadn't added the ability to kind of get away with making a mistake early on, so it's nice to see the developers think of that in the way. And after we find some more copper and get our copper pickaxe, that's probably where we'll end this video. Videos should come out pretty frequently, but they'll likely be relatively short. Each one likely between a half an hour and an hour. I feel like that's a good amount of time for people to be able to see more of the game each day without being overwhelming. I know a lot of people have other stuff that they have to do, so it's tougher to find time to watch a 3-hour video than to watch a 30-minute one. And if you want to be notified the next time the next video is posted, you can like or subscribe to the channel. The channel is essentially brand new right now. Okay, so it does kind of let us know when things are ready, which is really nice. So it seems like this is going to be... And I am still just getting seeds, so I'm still not doing something correctly. Interesting. Okay, so screwed that up, but live and learn. We'll replant them. Okay, so it does look like when you harvest, you have to water again, which that makes things a little easier. So we'll do that, and we'll try it again once they're ready. For now, we'll just throw in some copper so we can make ourselves a new pickaxe. One more. Okay. And then we'll go to our workbench, make ourselves a pickaxe, put it in our inventory, do some quick rearranging so everything's ready for next playthrough. Okay. Well, it's a short introduction. We explored a little bit of the map. The game's really approachable. It's actually really fun thus far, even though I haven't done a whole lot. It feels good. It feels like it's interesting to play. It has a good feedback loop. It's still early access, and I have heard from a few people that it's a little short right now, but the developers have a nice timeline that they're hoping to add more content. So anyway, if you like the video, just like or subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone in the next one.